Well, hello there, everybody. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and guess what? I'm getting ready to do bees. Welcome to my bee yard in southeast Louisiana. Yep, so bees it is today. I have two new products, and one of them I'm going to show you today. I didn't plan on showing you today, but I'm going to show you today. It's pretty cool. Did I tell you it was the 14th? Oh, I got something in my eye because I'm out cutting grass, of course. So I got dust all over me. I don't know how dusty I am. Probably cut 3 acres worth of grass, and I'm turning out in the field, and I see a lot of bees are coming and going. I'm like, wow, the bees are really hitting the goldenrod hard. And when you went by the hive this morning, it was strong. I mean, very, very strong. Just that good pungent smell of life to me. I think it smells fabulous when I smell it. I love it. They had nectar coming in before this goldenrod was coming in heavy. I'm going to show you some. It's so beautiful right now, but there's pollen coming. The bees are getting nutrition. And one thing good nutrition can mean in some cases is swarms. Seriously, I see these bees coming and going. I look up and go, wait a minute, I'm in the middle of the field. And I look, and then I started looking around. I noticed there's a swarm. And I have done spread it all out with the mower, I'm thinking. Now, I'm not sure if it was in the grass and I didn't see it. Were they coming from back here, from over there? I'm pretty sure they were coming from back here. Now, what I tell you, October 14th, I think, let me double check. Yeah, it's the 14th. I have never, ever caught a swarm this late in October, ever. I've never caught a swarm in October. I've never caught a swarm in September. I let them go. If I were to see them in that time frame, I've let them go in July. I'm blown away right now that I saw a swarm. I've seen absconds, always see absconds. So that was the first thing that went through my mind. Maybe one of my hives absconded, one of my weak ones. So I stopped the mower, I watched them, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I did the tanging thing on the mower with my knife. Got my knife off, bang, 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 bang. And they were all in the air, just kind of, they had finally gotten into and what was odd, let me, I know I'm running on and on, but I'm in a hurry because I want to show you this new product, and it wasn't even unboxed yet. So I had to run and unbox it, so, you know, but anyway, let me get back. So I'm watching, see, I'm excited. Never, this is late. Absconds in October. 95% of the times it's an abscond, especially a small one. It's a weak one. They're run out by beetles, wax moths, whatever. They leave. They're stressed from mites, which we've gotten on top of the mites. But you know, so I'm looking for absconds. So this is all going through my head, and I'm watching them. And finally, I see them. They were all over the yard, and so they started kind of tightening up in the air a little bit. So I tanged. I don't know if I believe it or not. I've done it one time. Y'all saw a video. I'll have to link it from way back when, and I tanged just for the heck of it. And sure enough, they all kind of finally tightened up and went up to a branch, and I watched them. So now I'm thinking, So thinking in my head, it's got to be an abscond. So I walked around to every single hive, said it's got to be an abscond. Every single hive had normal coming and going activity, and boy, are they coming and going. They're hitting it hard. So I always leave my hives super heavy. I never have to worry about swarming. I never go in and see swarm cells in September. Surely don't expect them in October. I went ahead and opened up my new product, and I'm going to show it to you. Well, there it is, guys. I didn't unbox it for you because I was in a hurry, and I have not charged it. The plan was to do a review on this thing right here, to do the review on it in about a week, in about 2 weeks, when I'll possibly do a removal. That was the plan, but plans changed. So everybody knows about these. Y'all have seen them. This is the everything vac. The problem is it wasn't charged. So I ran in here, ripped the box open, got it set up real quick, and I got it charging. There's the charger going. Now, what I can tell you about this thing, as far as unboxing, it's super easy. He puts the gear inside the bucket, puts the lid on, everything is packaged beautifully. And I gotta say, Tony, when I saw him at the Slidell, the Be Alive convention in Slidell, he asked me to do an honest review on one. And I'm going to do an honest review. And that to me is, I felt humbled and honored that he would ask me. And, you know, because I don't do a lot of removals, but I want to use it for swarms. And this thing is going to be perfect for what we got, if it's still there. He literally went on a big, round, I mean, it's probably 8 inches around limb on a water oak that's just there, and they're just hanging on it. Perfect. This is gonna be perfect for that. Comes with these nice straps. We're gonna find out just how nice they are. Comes with the remote. But the thing is, I don't know if it's charged up enough, but we gotta go get bees out of a tree. So again, I went to every colony and looked, and there's everybody's coming and going normal. So that means it wasn't them abscond, it was a swarm. Again, another crazy year. What is going on? I've never worried about swarms this time of year. Never. I just don't worry about them. But what concerns me is it's probably going to be one that dies out or dwindles and dies out, or maybe if they're late enough into the season, they'll rear a queen out of a cell. She'll come out and she'll just hang out in the hive during the wintertime. I don't know. She's going to want to fly and get mated, and we have the weather for it. We have drones too. Don't think that we don't have drones. We do have drones, and I've seen drones in hives in December before. January, when I have rotated boxes. We have drones, but the drone concentration areas are just next to nothing this time of year, if they are any. There's not many drones. We're deep south, so we'll still have them, but not enough. And probably get some inferior genes. Who knows if they can even make it out and back. I mean, she goes out late, it cools off in the evening. I don't know what to say about a swarm this late, but we just have to watch the colonies and see if one of them dwindles down to nothing. Now, remember, this is not a how-to get a swarm out of a tree. I do not condone what I'm getting ready to do by putting a ladder in this truck. I usually don't go higher than a ladder. But I got the vac, and I need to do a review. And instead of waiting a week, hopefully it's charging up. We'll do it now. Let's go. So there it is, folks. Right up there, itty bitty tiny little swarm that I'm gonna try and get with this everything vac. Now, I always say anytime there's a ladder, especially a ladder in a truck, and bees involved, always have the camera. Always. I was gonna catch the queen, and as I got the bees down, I went to go to get that one step up and go get her. She flew up in the air. They're all flying around me and kind of near the vacuum. I'm hoping they'll settle in the same spot or on the vacuum. I watched her the whole time. I wanted to cage her because I don't know how I'm gonna keep them in the box anyway without any brood, and I don't feel like digging in hives to get brood. So I don't know what's gonna happen now. That was my fault, not the vacuum. It's got this remote control that you can clip on you, and that's nice because you can control it. They smell the bees in there, so hopefully they'll settle on this. So because they're flying around, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the hose and get all the bees in there. All right, we're gonna go full blast, get them out the hose, and I'm gonna take this out and take. All right, we got that closed. You can turn it off now. We'll get the lid off, and I want to see if they'll settle on these bees. Maybe I'll put this on the ladder, and we'll see if we can get her to come back. She's in the air around here. They're still here. So take this out. Take my remote off. Let's unscrew the lid. They got to have air anyway. I don't want to leave them in the sun. They're not happy, of course. Would you be? We're going to put this up top and see if we can get them to get the queen to come back. Now we wait, folks. There were bees in the air. Where did she go? That's the question. Did she fly away? I watched her. I literally was watching her, and I said, let me get a few more bees off. I should have sucked her up. But let me give you a method to my madness. At least hear me out. So I'm calmed down. I got to use everything back. Man, what a cool machine. Even better when you got the queen inside it. But here's my method to my madness was, my mind is going, okay, this whole time since I saw them, how am I going to get them in a box? I don't want to pull brood out of a good colony right now. I don't want to dig through them. I mean, I will if I have to. I thought maybe I can just trap them in, give them some water, some sugar syrup, give them a frame of honey, see if that'll hold them. It just always doesn't hold them necessarily. Brood holds them. And I thought, well, I could get brood, or then I could put a queen excluder and put it in the box, but they're going to have to go in a nuke, and I have to break out one of my other nukes and fit the queen. It's all this is going through my head, and I thought to myself, okay, whatever, just suck her up, we'll deal with it later. So as I'm sucking them up, I notice I see the queen the whole time. I'm watching her. There she is. Is that her? No. The whole time I'm watching her, I'm kind of chasing her, so I'm going around her. Then I saw her. She was out in the open. I'm like, cool. You should have known. When these queens are in flight mode, they're gonna fly a lot of times. But my goal was, I literally was just about to get her. I was literally gonna put the hose down right then and grab her, and then hop down, and that was my thought. Of course, you look back and go, hindsight 2020. I should have sucked her up. I had two or three opportunities to suck her up. So now I just gotta see if she comes back. That was the method to my madness, because what I want to do is get her in a cage, put her in a nuke, dump the bees on her, leave her there for 2 or 3 days, then let her go and see if they stay. That was kind of the goal. Just putting them on comb doesn't always work, but I was willing to do that until I saw her. Then I'm like, ooh, I can catch her. But this might work. I see bees gathering right now. They're gathering around. They're not going back to that branch. One or two are going back, but this is what I'm seeing. So I'm hoping that the queen will come back. I don't know what's up there yet. And being this is a late, tiny, itty-bitty swarm, it's probably just got the one queen. But I have a packed single over there that had a lot of honey in the top. Maybe she came out of there. I mean, getting honey bound in the fall, it's just winter bees and this time of year. And the bees they know the time of year. I don't understand it sometimes. I don't feel like that's a normal thing for them, because I never worry about them getting honey bound in the fall. Give me a break. You want them honey bound in the fall. You want them to plug the nest. That's in Ian's words, plugging that nest before it gets cold. This is the time of year they plug the nest. But and they have it ready to go. They only have a little bit of brood in there. Of course, mine got a lot of brood in some of them, so who knows? We're gonna find out. And then this goes back into my whole I hate nurturing a colony. I'm gonna have to nurture them. Well, really I don't. I think I got plenty of honey on frozen that I could put in there. I'm watching to see if she lands up top. She'll come back to that limb. Seems like she'd come back to these bees. I would think she's gonna get tired and fly down and land. I got to use it though. Cool. Did you see that bird just swoop down and eat my bee? I hope that wasn't the queen she ate. Good for nothing. Well, folks, you might have seen her when I put the camera up top. I don't know, but she was in there. So I put her in the clip. Praise the Lord. All right. So we'll just do it just like a cutout. I'm gonna lay her on here. I just don't see another way of keeping them in this colony. I mean, this hive, I don't have a lot to offer them. Some food, of course, that'll help them stay, I guess. But I've had problems, they leave sometime. So what I normally do is put brood in, but I'm not going after any brood. I'm just not going after any. So I'm just going to slide her in here like so, toward the back. Whoops, I'm gonna fall out. I'm gonna put it right here. Not gonna leave them in here too long anyway. With her cooped up, I'll let her out soon enough. All right, let's try this everything back evacuation. How does that work? That should really get them going there. Now they're all gonna fly up, I'm sure. Oh, I left the directions in here. Talk about excited. Let's lay it on here and see if they'll go in. There's so few bees, you can't hardly shake them out. But I feel like I leave it there, they'll go to their queen. Well, Tony, I didn't take the directions out. The Gen 2.5 everything bee vacuum instructions. All right, let's see what they do there. So we're going to carefully put the lid on. I've got the bees leaned up against the board. So she's trapped. They can smell her. I have a feeling real shortly we'll come out here and they will be in that box. All right, they're starting to gather on the entrance as we can see. It's only been 3 or 4 minutes. Check out this goldenrod. Is it beautiful or what? Not sure how much nectar it's giving out. I do know we had a good amount of nectar coming in before it bloomed, and I'm thinking it was off of those little white flowers. There's the bees working it, and she's not got pollen in her baskets, so I'm guessing she's hunting nectar. Yep, they're working the goldenrod. So are the moths, the flies. There's a wasp right there, look like a mud dauber. Plenty of honeybees. There's one gathering some pollen. There's a red wasp. All pollinators welcome here. All right. Now that little bee, I don't know what that is. It's a itty bitty little bee. So many varieties of bees on them too. I don't see. Most of the bees aren't bringing pollen off of them. A lot of them look like they're working it for nectar. Look at her. See, she's not putting anything in her pollen bags. I did see one loaded earlier. With pollen. See, they're working each flower for nectar, looking for it. I don't know how dry it is. Let's see what these bees have done. A lot less in the air now, that's good. Still quite a few. Need to move this bucket out of their way. These guys bringing in some of that smelly pollen. Look, they're almost all in there. Everybody's in the box now. I'm gonna shake these off and get out of here. Well folks, it is the next day. I did a review on it yesterday during the video, but I guess I was just so spun up and so worked up over that swarm that I thought the review was junk. So not the machine, the review was just bad. I was just all over the place. So I wanted to do a review after I got a good chance to think about it and after using it. I was just all stressed out with the swarm now. I mean, goodness gracious, I don't even know. The bees that lost the swarm, they're not going to, even if they requeen, they're not going to have enough brood. Such a brood break. You won't see her first bees for 7 weeks, and it'll be too late by then. So I don't even know. I got to figure out which one swarmed, I guess. The little swarm, I can probably keep it alive. It'll have honey, but you know, it's so small, and it's got, what, 6 months to go. Makes you wonder. This season's so messed up. I got an entire privet hedge over there blooming. I could smell it. It smells like spring. This year is so strange, so weird, so off. Strange year. So, going back to the everything BVAC. It's everything they say it is. Now there it sits, the BVAC. Comes with the instructions, couple of pieces of paper. Everything comes stored inside. This nice, easy unit. The hose, it looks like it's all ribbed inside, but it's not. Down in there, it's actually smooth. I'm not going to take it apart, but the inside is smooth. Now, with the bee vac, the strap is pretty nice. It's got these little hooks here, this hook here. Whoops. It is top heavy, so that's something you're not going to help that. So that's something you just got to be careful with on this thing. It's very top heavy because the motor is up here. Got these little loops here, these straps. I didn't know Mr. Ed had one strap that had started kind of, I think maybe it came loose from here. But these seem pretty well stitched in there. But as far as this thing working, this strap, throwing this thing on my back, I put the valve here, the gate valve thing here, having that on my side so that the hose could wrap around my side and I could work this way. That was great. I crawled up that ladder like it was nothing, with that hose in my hand, and man, it was very, very easy. I liked it. Something very nice with this vac, it's got this little pouch on here. It comes off and on. You don't have to keep it on, but like I put the spare nozzle in here, the charger's in here, the remote. This remote is pretty awesome. I used it yesterday. Because you may want to adjust your vacuum. Well, if this is on your back, you can't. So this thing here, all right, there. Now you clip this on. I clipped it on the strap or your shirt or wherever. You can clip it on your belt. Then this just simply plugs in right down here. And now you don't even need to use this control. See, you plug this in, and use this, and you don't have to worry about it. Now I can see on a cutout where I was sitting on the ground, obviously I'm just going to use this one. But if I'm in a tree or on a ladder, and I got this on my back, I use this. Perfect. I really like it. And then you just retracts back up. And I can put all this in this little bag. It's got this pouch on the front. Okay. So I can also put a hive tool in here, queen cage, whatever I need. And what's neat about this now is I can go on a swarm call and have everything with this unit. So that's pretty awesome. No more box with frames and worry about wax moths in the trunk of my car or in the back of my truck. I got this. This thing charges with a regular AC cord. Plug it in. And other than that, it's just that simple. It's got great suction. I did notice I had to have full suction on when I started to really get a good pull off of that swarm. But that paper might have been across something. I'm not sure if it was across the hose or not. I would imagine as it fills up with bees, you can lessen the suction for sure. It says turn the vac to 50 to 60 pressure level, increase the vacuum maximum blockages. I had to turn it on high, but I turned it down eventually. Now his new model does have screen in the bottom with a second cap, so it will maintain suction. So that's a pretty neat upgrade he's got. This one just has the top. But when you're ready to take the bees out, this slides out. There's a piece of felt around here that maintains the suction. This thing worked fabulous. I don't know about battery length, but everybody tells me it lasts a long time. Mr. Ed tells me it lasts. Tony, who makes it, I want to say he said you're going to get like 4 or 6 hours out of this thing. One of the issues I did think that would be a problem with this particular unit was getting bees out. Whenever I watch Randy's videos on them, I never liked having to dump them out of the bucket, especially if I didn't get the queen. Yesterday I got the queen, so I knew if I dumped them out, it'd be fine. And I was concerned about that. Well, it wasn't that big of a deal really to dump them out. And I guess if you're dumping them on some good comb or some brood, it's fine. They do stick to this chicken wire, but that has to be in there for them to grab onto something as you're sucking them up, and something for them to crawl on. But again, you got to be careful not to overheat them once you suck them up. But that's with any vacuum, so it's not just particular to this. The dumping feature, I don't know. I'll have to get used to it, let me say that. But everything outweighs that to me, because this thing is so convenient. This thing is going to be a... And look, this isn't my only review. I'm going to do a cutout, and we're going to see how it stacks up there. Because then you got to get the bees in the box. So what the owner of this company, Tony, showed, it's really simple. You get a piece of plywood and you make it the size of a hive body. Okay? It's just a piece of plywood that a hive body will sit on top of, and you put a lid on the hive body. You put a frame or two of brood in there and some other frames, and then in that board that's now your bottom with no entrance, you cut a hole. And you cut that hole right here, this big, and that board sits right on top of here. And then you put your hive body with your brood in it. And what that does, so now it'll fit tight, not super tight, but tight, just slips right over the edge where there's no space for the bees to get out right here. And then all you have to do at that point is you have your board and your brood in a box standing by to the side. It's over here to the side, over here, over there to the side. Okay, that's where it's at. Then you take this bucket and you just do like so. Bees go down. Take this off, pick the board up, put it on top. Leave it. The bees will come up onto that brood. So if I'm doing a removal, all the brood that I rubber band into the box, I lay that box on that piece of plywood and the bees come up. Very great idea, very simple idea. So that would eliminate the whole having to dump a removal out into a box, because that's the only thing I would see that I'm not used to doing. Not that it's a bad feature, but I'm not used to dumping bees out after removal. I'm used to using a vacuum that sucks them into a box. No need with this. So that's it. I really think I'm gonna love this thing. I'm gonna do another review with the removal, but that right now, that unit, being everything back is everything they say it is. I've seen the people using it. It is an awesome tool. That thing, if you're doing removals, I'll let you know how it goes, but as far as swarm catching, at this point, that thing is ideal. It makes one piece of equipment that I usually have 2 or 3 pieces of equipment with me. I like it. I really do. It's really cool. I'm very excited I could use the everything back, but I'm not excited that I had a swarm because I don't know where it came from. And whoever it is, it's most likely doomed. But if they'll establish and I can figure out who it is, I can requeen them, right? We'll see. We'll see. I might go this week and just take a look. Some of the ones I knew were strong, the singles, that's the only ones I could think would swarm. Maybe some of the doubles that had honey all in the top. I don't know. It just didn't make sense. I've never seen one or actually caught a swarm this late. I haven't noticed any that have swarmed this late. That's not saying they haven't in the past. I don't know. But with this crazy year and the way things have been, it's probably a one of a kind. It's late, folks. It's late. Like we're a couple weeks away from possibly seeing lows in the 30s. So, you know, I don't know. That was the last minute video. Wasn't planning on doing one. Going out tomorrow to reduce some boxes. Tomorrow, Monday, I'm gonna go reduce 2 week hives in town. Get them down to 1 brood chamber. Was gonna make a video on that, and I still will. But figured I'd go ahead and grab the camera real quick. It was a rush. It was craziness. I wasn't sure what to do because, you know, nowadays that thing may not even set up. I'm surprised it stayed as long as it did. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this last minute, sporadic, crazy, excited Mike video doing a how I do, not a how to catch a swarm. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike and I do bees. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and week to come, and may God bless you. We'll see y'all later.